Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business here. You know, pro football is so different from college football because in college football you have teams that are just head and shoulders above everybody else. Your Alabamas, they just get more talent than everybody else, and pretty much anything that they do will win. That's why constantly you always see, the top teams stay at the top because they get the best talent, they got the best facilities, they got the best coaches and everything else, and it's really an unfair advantage. Well, the NFL is different because basically you got the cream of the crop, and there really is not that much difference between the top teams and the bottom teams. A lot of it is execution and lack of mistakes, and coaches putting players in positions to win, calling the right play against the right defense or the right defense against the offense, knowing when to blitz, and sometimes it's just dumb luck. And you can look at the Cowboys season where right now people are saying, oh, well, the Cowboys really aren't that good a team. They'll be one and done and everything else because they're 6-5, because they're going by the record. But if you take a couple of plays, and let's say, for example, the goal line situation where the Cowboys ended up fumbling, where Dak Prescott fumbled in the end zone, Redskins get 7 points. If they end up punting the ball and living for another down, it may have made a difference in that game. Or had they not got the penalty on the snap and could have tied up the game with that field goal and possibly won in overtime, then you're talking about a 7-4 team. All of a sudden, your view looks a lot different. And the same thing with, say, the Texans. Instead of punting the ball in fourth and short, had they gone for it and maybe drove and got the score and had a win, they'd be 8-3. And clearly, those couple of plays right there, from 6-5 to 8-3, you're talking about a team totally different, and the outlook is totally different. And if we are to do something in the playoffs, we have to be smarter in coaching. And what I'm going to do over the course of the next couple of days and stuff in this week is look at things, play calling, positions that players are in, positions like quarterback and things, and start doing more film study and trying to figure out where we can improve. Because if we can improve in a few areas and a few things, it's all the difference in the world between winning and losing. And you can look at some of the things that we did in the Redskin game this past week and say, had we done them better, it would have been a totally different game and blown them out. So let's start looking at this. This is the drive before halftime. We got the ball back with basically 7 minutes to go. And at this point, knowing that the Redskins are going to get the ball to start the second half, what you want to do is you want to drive down the field, you want to eat up all the clock, and you want to score a touchdown to end the half. That way you've got your defense sitting on the bench, rested. Then they have halftime. You make your adjustments and you come out. And you go into halftime with momentum. So let's take a look at this drive. Because this drive actually starts off really good. Started out with 7 minutes, 3 seconds left. And you see he stayed in bounds. You get Zeke Elliott. Okay, you don't get the first down. But notice the clock is still running. Right? So we're eating up clock. We're giving them less and less opportunities. 3rd and 2. Here we go. We're down to 5:51. Boom. You get the first down. He goes out of bounds. It would have been great if he had stayed in bounds, but the key was keep the drive alive. But we're down to 5:23. We're chewing up clock now. All right, boom. Zeke Elliott up the middle, picks up 5 yards. Boom. Notice the clock. There you go. Caught. Rico Gathers coming in with the block. Great play. And notice, the clock is still running. You're down to 3 minutes and 54 seconds. This drive is going fantastic. Boom. Tackled in bounds. Clock keeps running. You're now in field goal range. You're doing everything you want to do on this. All right, we're down to 3 minutes and 16 seconds. All right, not mad about that because the clock is still running. 3rd and 4, boom. Your quarterback, for all those that hate Dak, for all those that hate Dak, you see him made that play with people on top of him, keeping this drive alive. Now, here's where you got to say, this is perfect. You got the ball with 7 minutes and 3 seconds left. You got a 1st and 10, 2-minute warning on the 20-yard line. You couldn't ask for more. So what you want to be thinking about here as a coach is minimum, we want to get a field goal, but not leave any time on the clock for Washington to do anything. That way you get a score, you're up 10-7, great, wonderful. But this is where things kind of start going a little south after this play. Or after the next couple plays. Okay? Boom. All right. Okay. Zeke picks up 5 yards, which is great, but he goes out of bounds. 6 seconds is all that went off the clock. You got to stay in bounds. This is what you got to start teaching your guys. Listen, we don't want to leave a second on the clock for the opposition, and we got to score. Can't go out of bounds. Okay. All right. Dak. Boom. Quarterback keeper. Picks up some yards. Goes out of bounds. All right. Not mad about picking up the first down. It's a minute 48 left. You had to get the first down. But what that means is you got a first down on the 4-yard line. What you want to do is you want to score a touchdown, but you want to take your time. You want to, if you can, do 2 or 3 runs because the Redskins still have 2 timeouts left. If you run up the middle at this point, the Redskins are going to take a timeout. They're going to have to use up one of those to try and save some time to see if they can do something with it. Or if they don't, the clock's going to keep running. Then they don't have time to do anything. So here's where I have a problem. Here's where I have a problem because what we do on this first down is we try and pass to get in the end zone. It's a screenplay. Dak is backpedaling, and ends up throwing off the back of his foot. Guy's wide open. Even if you'd had completed this play, you got a touchdown, but notice, it's still been about a minute 40 left in the half. So this is where I kind of question play calling because this is deja vu. This is the Seattle Seahawks game last year. We had a first down on the 4-yard line, and we did a pass. Incomplete. You remember what I'm talking about? Then it was 2nd and 3, or 2nd and goal from the 3. Another pass. Don't get the score. Had we gotten that score, had we made those plays last year, we could have won that game. And had we won that game, we would have been in the playoffs with a 10-6 record. So last night when I was going through and talking about this, people were saying, you're just nitpicking. Be happy we won. I'm happy we won, but understand, winning isn't the whole thing. You've got to understand, where can we improve? Because you were playing the Redskins that were beat up with a backup quarterback. When you go against the Saints or the Rams or in the playoffs, you cannot make these mistakes. So here we go. First down. Boom. Dak is driven back on the screen and does not get enough into it. But now, 5 seconds goes off the clock. 5 seconds. Okay, I'm not mad that you try to pass on first down, but guess what? It's 2nd and goal from the 4. And here we go. 2nd and goal. Pass play again. Why? Somebody explain to me why. When you've got that offensive line and Zeke Elliott, who has been butter all day, running the hell out of the ball.
Prescott in trouble, and now they'll suffer the sack.
Okay, you get the sack, the clock's still running, Redskins use a timeout. So now it's 3rd and goal from the 17. Chances of getting the touchdown aren't exactly great here.
Here's Elliott, long way to go, no chance.
And so you kick the field goal, and in that series, you went from the 2-minute warning, you only used 28 seconds. 28 seconds is it. You leave a minute 32. Fortunately, it was the Redskins, and the Redskins didn't do anything with it. But if that's Aaron Rodgers had less time than that in the playoffs against us. And we saw what he did. He had 30 seconds. These are the kind of things that you look at, and when you talk about the team and say, oh, its players got to execute, and it's on them. Okay, yeah, but it's also the coaching that need to call the right plays at the right times. See, this is where it's crazy because it seems like Jason Garrett's default is the pass too often. Too many times when we've been up against, say, a Detroit Lions team by 3 scores, and we keep passing in the second half and give them opportunities to get back into it. Same thing when we look at going against the Green Bay Packers, where you're up 26-3 at halftime. We still keep passing the ball, and we're passing the ball more than the team trying to catch up to us, and they end up beating us. And these are times where you say a run is more important than that pass. The clock, getting that clock going, leaving no time for the other team to be able to make plays. This is where we have to do better as a team if we want to try and go on a run. So, hate me if you will, put blame wherever you want, but this is a fact. We have to do better. If we do these little things better, you're going to beat a lot of teams that people don't think you can. But if you continue to do these kinds of mistakes where you leave points on the field and you leave time for a good offense like a Drew Brees to go downfield, you're going to lose every time. Every single time. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about play calling. And I could point out other situations in here as well where we've been in some questionable play calling. But again, understand, this is where we have to get better. So I'm going to go back and do some more film study and things, and I'll be bringing you some more breakdowns and stuff of things we're doing right and things that we need to improve on. But clearly, we have to end up taking these opportunities when we get in the red zone. We cannot settle for field goals. We cannot leave time on the clock. We got to get touchdowns, and we have to leave no time for the other teams. I'm Mark Holmes, and damn if it ain't raining hard outside. I will see you guys later.